September 9th, 2024, around 10:30 in the morning. And I've been seeing a lot of people post about relationship problems and finding good dates, finding good men and women out there. And the truth is, we're all still out here, but we're looking in a way that's filtered through Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all these social media platforms that are giving us a false perception of someone looks like they're harder to get or untouchable because they're so hot or so smart or so funny or so whatever. And then when you're in public, a lot of people will shy off of that. A perfect example for a lot of men, I know you've experienced this, when you see a beautiful woman that you're attracted to. There's one thing to see an attractive woman, but it's another thing to feel a connection as soon as you look at them. Your soul recognizes their soul, and you're like, wow, that might be the one. And she's in a group of girls, a group of beautiful women out, dressed all fancy and stuff. A lot of guys get intimidated by that, and they worry about, oh, is she going to say this? Don't worry about what she says. Just go out there and say hi. Say anything simple, just one quick thing. And we basically defeat ourselves before we even get started a lot of times, men and women. I think men are more commonly known for this because we're supposed to be the ones that go out there and approach and attract and say, hey, I like you, or hey, you want to go get coffee or whatever. One of my things is, hey, let's go shoot some bows and arrows, which is not a great first date, but maybe a second or third date. And it's beautiful to experience. However, as I'm in this world and dating and not dating and whatever we're doing, I ask myself, well, why? What am I looking for in a significant other? What am I looking for in that woman that offers a reflection of my soul, so I can look at my soul, things that I don't typically see, and say, ooh, I need to work on that and this, or ooh, I really like that about me. And you can see that in her eyes. Or if you're a girl looking at a guy, or whatever I don't judge, but whatever you're doing, for me, it's seeing a beautiful woman, and I can see that in her eyes and see that she feels the same about me. There's a charge to it. There's a pure essence to it. If it's real, and a lot of them, it's not real in this world nowadays. So again, why do we want that? For me, it's I remember home. I remember being home with Source, not in this world, in this physical body. I remember the feeling as if it was right now, because technically everything is right now. There's no such thing as time. But I remember being home. And there's no feeling, there's no other feeling like home with Source. When you're out of this physical world and there's no words. I could try 1,000 different words to describe it, and it will not convey the message properly. So if you know, you know. If you don't remember, you will eventually. So that's what we're seeking. We're seeking that home. And in such a cold world that we live in, this physical world gets cold. It gets rough, sometimes literally cold. And you want that feeling of home again. So you look for that in someone else. And I found that this world tricks you into thinking, well, it's that beautiful woman right there, the one that's all dolled up and make-upped up and, fake whatever. It just all what society, or I don't want to say society, the mainstream deep state brain virus, woke virus that wants you to buy superficial things and buy into it and fall for that. There's a lot of people think, well, there she is. She's gorgeous. That's my reflection I'm looking for. And it's not. That's not your reflection. That's a blurred image of what's really there. Because you see a woman that looks like, or even men too. There's toxic men out there too. But you see someone that looks like wow, that's it. Look how gorgeous she is. And then after a while, you get to know them more. And even sometimes years go by, and you have family, and you build a family. You have kids, and you stay married for a long time. And then you realize, ooh, that wasn't the reflection I thought it was. And then you get divorced, and then it's a problem. The women, or someone takes half of the others, of whoever made the money. The other person often takes half of it typically in this world it's more women doing that, but it happens both ways. It's no judgment. Either one can do it. But the way our system's set up, it favors the women from what I've seen. And I know some of you might call me out and say that's inaccurate. And if that is, show me the proof and I'm willing to accept that if it's real. However, from what I've seen, more men lose out in that situation. But is it losing out? Because you made the choice to get involved with that woman based on a false pretense. You know, you looked and you says, "Ooh, she's gorgeous. That's what I want." And that's not home. It looks pretty, it looks nice, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for that feeling of home. And when I find a woman that I have in the past, things didn't work out in certain, I'm not going to get into it, but you find that woman that you see and you look at her, and when she's looking at you, you feel a glimpse of home, because we all have home within us, every one of us. But some have been beaten up by this world more that they mirror it so much that, oftentimes they end up being fake with cosmetic surgeries and literally fake. And then you get distracted by that. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for home, or are you looking for a trophy wife to have on your arm, or husband on your arm, or support, or whatever you're looking for? I'm not judging. But if you really are looking for love, true love, that's home. That's source. And nothing in this physical world will ever compare to that. However, when you find a woman or man that whatever you're looking for, when I find a woman that knows home and feels home inside her like I do, and then I look at her and she sees that in me and I see that in her, that's real love. That's home. As close as you can get in the physical world, that's home. And then hopefully all things go well, and then you build a family with that woman, or if you're the opposite, whatever. You build a family, and then you see that home in your children's eyes, because children remember home a lot better than most of us, because they just came from home. They just came into this physical world from home. And that's why when you look at a beautiful baby, a child, they just have that pure joy and laughter and giddiness because they remember home. So the trick is, when we're out on this vacation of this physical world, we're out on our journey, remember home. And I think it's simple as that. Remember home as much as you can. And when you see someone who remembers home, help them remember even more, or learn from them so you remember more. And that's the name of the game, because the more you remember home, the more you live happy on vacation. Because you say, "Oh man, home is so beautiful. What can I see here that's beautiful?" And you carry that love, instead of, it's the opposite today most of the time, where people are saying, "Oh, let me look for this beautiful woman or this beautiful man," or whatever you're doing. And they're just looking for that instead of home. So home is where the heart is. That's what they say. So when I find a woman that literally remembers home like I do, or her own version of that, and then she sees me remembering home, it's a mirror effect. It builds and builds and builds. It amplifies, and you create a happy home. And then you bring in souls into this world, if you choose to, who remember home even more. And then this world gets even more homey, and it just gets more cozy. And we take care of each other, and we take care of ourselves and everything better, because we're bringing home with us on vacation. Because that's basically what this is. You're on vacation right now. You decided to trick yourself into thinking that you're not home so you can play on vacation. That's just, yeah, that's it. Look for home. Remember home. I love you guys. Be well.